Medina County residents. My name is Krista Wasowski, and I'm your Medina County Health Commissioner. I'm making this message as a way to give information out to all of you today about the unprecedented time that we find ourselves in right now. Having the thought of a global pandemic is not something that anyone would have anticipated. In fact, the entire world was caught quite by surprise by this. But as you can see, from what happens internationally to what happens here nationally and locally, there's a public health system in place throughout the world every day that communicates and shares information about what we're seeing with diseases. While this disease is something very new to us, it's something the control of that we train for every day and we actually have in place every day. The reality is that the response to this is exponentially larger than the 1 or 2 or 20 cases that we have of different types of illnesses that we control. And that's why I need your help. I need every single resident to do whatever you can to protect your own health, the health of your friends and neighbors. That means, please isolate within your homes and stay out of group settings. And I know this is very hard. I know it's particularly hard because you don't see illness yet. And that's why these measures are being put in place, asking people, in some cases mandating people, to indicate how serious it is to stay away from one another. The truth is, a disease like this will have very low cases to begin with, and they grow exponentially. 1 case becomes 2 cases, 2 cases become 4 cases. And the truth is, by the time we get to an overwhelming number of cases, is actually the day right before. Because when cases are doubling, that's when you'll start to all of a sudden, the very next day, realize this is an issue. But it's an issue now. And so the actions that you take with going in and using takeout, that's wonderful. We need to support our businesses. This is tough on our businesses. But I need you to order, go in and get out, not waiting in line, not congregating outside. I know that's hard, and I know it's particularly hard when it's changing the normal course of life. Most people who will become ill with this will have it resolve. It'll be nothing more than maybe a bad cough and a high fever and something that will resolve on its own for you. But the actions that you take today can protect other people in the community, and that's what we need to do for one another. We all need individually to do what we can to protect our own health, so that we can protect the health of the people who have a worse outcome from this. There's a lot of people who are in that high-risk category. If you're watching this and you're in a high-risk category, please stay home. There are groups organizing all across Medina, people helping people, neighbors offering, college students who are home because their colleges are closed, offering to go pick up food, groceries, necessities. Please, I really want our people living in our county who are most at risk to take the best care, to remove themselves from opportunities of interaction. I know that's hard. I know it's hard to be in the house every day and to look out and to not be able to maybe go and have that coffee that you normally get or pop in the bowling alley. I know my own father, he bowls every Tuesday and he's 79 years old, and he's having a hard time with this because that's his group. Those are his friends. That's what he does to get out and interact. He's used to stopping in and picking up a newspaper at the grocery store every day. And I've had to say to him, we'll get somebody to bring it to you. And I think at this point, all across Medina County, this is our time really to shine and show that spirit that we all have, that real sense of community. Whatever city, whatever township, whatever village that you live in, I know people care about one another. And I really need everyone to take this very seriously and to do what we need to do for one another so that we can weather this. So people are asking, what do I do if I feel ill? And the answer is, if you have a fever over 100 degrees and you have a slight cough and you're doing okay at home, stay at home. Keep yourself away from your other family members. Don't share dishes, don't share linens, don't share any other household items amongst yourselves. Try to stay away from one another. and weather it out using over-the-counter medications that you have available to you. That's important because the medical resources that we have need to stay reserved for those who begin to have more serious complications, and those are the difficulty breathing. If you have this illness and you begin to have difficulty breathing, you do need to seek medical attention, but you need to call ahead first and let that emergency room know that you're arriving so that people responding have the correct gowns and gloves and masks on to be able to treat you safely. So there's a lot of information about very specific things that you can do within your home, including keeping your pet healthy. You can go to coronavirus.ohio.gov, and the information is there in easy formats. There are checklists, and there are things that you can do very proactively to take care of yourselves and your neighbors. The number one thing that every single person has within their ability to do to stop the spread of this illness is to stay away from one another. And I know we're all social people. What we want to do and what we need to do right now are different things. You need to stay an arm's length away from all of the people that you're around. And I know for businesses that are still able to be open, I know my own staff, we had a staff meeting today of 10 people. We stood in the largest room that we had. We talked to each other across the way to one another. And that's what we need to do in our homes, in our workplaces that are still open, with our families and friends. We need to stay apart from one another to stop the spread of illness. In closing, I just want everyone to feel very empowered to do what they can to help contain the spread of the virus. Whether you're a business owner or an individual, whether you're somebody who has an elder family member that you're worried about, or if you're a teenager that's willing to help and go and pick up groceries and things for a neighbor, everybody can do something. And I know that people are doing things all across our community to help one another. And together we can do this. For local information, you can go to medinahealth.org. We're also found on Facebook under Medina Health Department. All of our recent information and local information is contained there. For statewide information and some of those great checklists and fact sheets that you can use, go to coronavirus.ohio.gov. Thank you.